developmental pattern defined by the body-mind centering practice, also called the ground of being. The quiet space of mental and physical rest found as attention is allowed to settle into the simplest ground of physical presence. Is essential for the full recreation of living tissue as well as creative thoughts and action. It is the necessary balance and counterpart to the busy activity of the nervous system, which is continually receiving stimulus from the environment, processing this input, conveying messages through the body regarding this information and directing response to it. This is exhausting work. Of course, we need to rest from it. During sleep, much of this activity ceases temporarily, and certain functions of the nervous system can rest and recover. During normal activity, the nerves themselves have a time of rest, known as the refractory period. Between the conduction of one nerve's impulse and the next down, any particular axon, but because of the extreme stress and complexity of our modern society, characterized by a constant pressure to be doing, we may now allow ourselves to go into this period of rest fully.
Tomorrow morning is better. I will have the time to choose. The night to reflect and see what stays. Take the time to choose what you want to offer as a trace.
I
would be curious about what nomadic people do. First of all, I think that what they travel with must be few selected items. In Mongolia you have the yurt, and it looks already huge to travel with this. But what do they do? Is there some stuff that they leave behind? It is a possibility to stay nomadic, but some part of the documentation center can maybe stay behind in the place where it was created.
So I think that all the things that we have been having in our life, conversation, physical and non-physical, with physical documents and non-physical documents, are there in the limbo. And it depends on our actual state of awareness. Then light comes in and then you realize that this part was in there.
Maybe I see dance as something that pops or appears or emerges from bodies moving, yeah? And things that I don't know, and I can just look at them and let them be. And that space is not that space. There are certain traces of something, or documented, I would say. I mean, there's a dance when you dance. When you're working, then I see, when you are working, then I see the dance, but this is not the dance. I think it's a container of experiences, but for me, even these observations is playing on one side of the tools of dance, let's say. Look before go, or the relation you have with the other in terms of composition. Or what is your position in space, the awareness of your body. So I think these are tools, but they don't become dance eventually at the end. But I would say even more composition than dance, or at least it is what I experience. I think you will like it, because if I understand a bit, it is about assuming that you can never achieve the experience, but really engaging in the failure of this representation, being aware that you are failing and trying to fail even better. Successfully failing successfully. Yes, to come back to the limit of each mode, to be aware of that and go for the failure, but still go for it. So why documentation then? Isn't documentation an abstraction, a removal of something from experience?
I'm a dancer. I'm learning and communicating through physical encounters with people and context. This is why I want to share live event. The making of the document is my actual dance. A dance that anyone can join. Sensorial and attentive presence is at the core of the Poetic Dance Documentation Center. All kinds of documents that I make are rooted in their incarnated experience, and I want to send people back to it. This is why there will always be someone en chair et en os in the opening hours. It will be a place to live, except when I want to talk about absence, the presence of absence. Then I might use a recording of voices. What kind of functionality? How to document art, how to document scientific discovery, how to document law cases.
I don't believe I can control so much how intentional channel my experience. What if I start with the documentation and that the explorations follows? What if you start with an exploration that is a documentation for you? What if everything what I do is a document?
Anouk, yeah, this is what I want. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to invite people to quit their job and get rid of their computer job. So they dance in their apartment. Actually, maybe I'm going to be taken by the computer myself, and I have to deal with that in this project, not to lose myself in the use of the machine.
And maybe they could also get involved into documenting their experience themselves, to become more aware of their perceptual, motor and imaginative experience, because I consider sensations as internal guides that most of us can use to choose what is good for them. So it's very ambitious. I don't know how many years.
And also another one, as people are so fascinated by their smartphone and look at it all the time, she now discovers some application for meditation, so you can look at your smartphone to meditate. She's not happy with the solution, but she is struggling with these things.
For you, the performance could be the documentation of something that is always dying somehow or dissolving document.
So my question is, should I bring things from the past or should I start from zero and only use what is here? But today I thought that I can also bring stuff from the past and build up an environment that is not only coming from a past, but from all the places the research have been visiting already. So the documentation center would gather traces of all the environment that we'd have traveled through. So it would not only be talking about what is here, but what was there too. And why did you choose to apply to a past? Because I needed to meet people. That's the main reason. I needed to meet people. I have this idea of I'm into layers because also the developmental patterns, hands to eyes, are layers of evolution. So I would like to have these layers of evolution present in the documentation center.
How do you stay alive doing that? Because for me, documents are not dead things, they are support for life. And how not to die doing it.